Merlin. Story read by Pippa MBE. Prologue. Our tale begins with a union of two mighty gods, the Lady of the Lake and Helios, the sun god. Together they create a shining orb of light, a bright spark which illuminates the world as it falls to earth. In a chance encounter, a young blacksmith happens upon the orb and discovers a baby within it. With no sign of parents anywhere nearby, the blacksmith decides to take the child in and raise him as her own. Act 1. In the many years that have passed, it has become apparent to the blacksmith that her adopted son Merlin is no ordinary boy. He has strange magical powers that his mother doesn't understand. Now, on the eve of his 18th birthday, as Merlin helps out in the forge, she fears that he will attract the wrong kind of attention and encourages him to hide his gifts. Morgan, a senior general in the Solar Kingdom's army for whom Merlin has feelings, arrives to collect new weaponry. The country is at war with the Kingdom of Tides, and Merlin will be drafted into the army. Bullied by passing solar warriors and humiliated by the blacksmith's attempts to protect him, Merlin finds comfort in imagining his birth parents and their acceptance of his talents. Soon it is time for Merlin to take up his post in the army. The blacksmith presents him with a magnificent sword called Excalibur. Struggling to hide his disappointment that she's making him go to war, Merlin and the blacksmith part ways at odds. During his military training in Camelot, Merlin finds it difficult to fit in. He's desperate to impress Morgan, but she ignores him as if he's not there, even when he uses his magic to try and get her attention. King Vortigern and his son Uther arrive, and it is quickly obvious that Morgan is infatuated with the prince, much to Merlin's disappointment. Uther shows off his fighting skills, but is defeated by a defiant Morgan who is chosen by the king to lead the soldiers into battle. A battle begins between the Solar Kingdom and the Kingdom of Tides. Forgetting all his training, Merlin appears lost and afraid. He dreams of his birth parents and his adoptive mother to give him strength. As his emotions overwhelm him, the mighty sword Excalibur begins to glow. His power defeats everyone around him and attracts the attention of Morgan. Merlin flees to the Caledonian forest. He finally meets his birth mother, the Lady of the Lake, who comforts him, showing off her magic before conjuring a vision of two soldiers from opposing kingdoms coming together. His father, Helios, surprises Merlin and shows him how to map out the stars. Deep in the forest, Merlin encounters a fiercely tempered dragon. He uses his magic to release the dragon from its shackles, and the two become friends. Merlin feels a renewed sense of worth after helping the dragon, and once again dreams of his birth parents' acceptance. Back in Camelot, a great celebration is underway. Morgan, who has been attributed with the kingdom's recent victory, is presented to Uther as a potential bride. Unimpressed by the match, Uther slips away, only to be followed by the scorned Morgan and her trusty hounds. Uther arrives in the forest where he meets his forbidden love, the Princess Igraine of the Kingdom of the Tides. They dive into each other's arms, witnessed by Merlin, who suddenly understands the Lady of the Lake's vision of unity between the kingdoms. Morgan discovers the lovers. When Uther refuses to return with her, she summons her hounds and the solar warriors. Using his powers and with the help of the dragon, Merlin flees with Igraine back to the forge where he begs the blacksmith to hide her. Merlin returns to the forest to find the dragon, but warriors emerge from the darkness. He is surrounded. The dragon has been shackled once again, and he is surrounded. The king and Morgan show their disdain for Uther and Merlin as they are captured. Morgan, fueled by rage, sets fire to the tree. Act 2. Back inside the forge, the blacksmith and Igraine form an unlikely bond. The blacksmith gifts Igraine a dagger to protect her on her journey home. Meanwhile, in the Solar Kingdom, King Vortigern gathers the Knights of the Round Table to plot their next move. A badly injured Uther enters and watches on as Merlin is dressed as a jester and humiliated. The king tries to make Uther sign a declaration of war against the Kingdom of the Tides, and he spills wine on it, much to the ire of the king. Morgan continues to try to get Uther's attention, but he shrugs her off. Spurned again by Uther, she takes advantage of Merlin, forcing him to dance with her. Her charm begins to work, and as he grows weaker, Morgan grows stronger, absorbing Merlin's power until she is transformed into the fearsome Morgan Le Fay. Arriving back home in the Kingdom of Tides, Igraine takes a bath. After feeling nauseous, she realizes she may be pregnant. In Camelot, Merlin realizes he has lost his powers and he is thrown in prison. Fortunately, his friend the dragon has also been imprisoned, and the two share a tender moment. As the morning dawns, the time has come for Uther to choose a bride. Women from across the Solar Kingdom try to impress him, but he dismisses them all. Using her freshly stolen powers, Morgan controls Uther, manipulating him into proposing in front of the king. News of the upcoming nuptials is spread far and wide, including as far as the Kingdom of Tides. On hearing the news, an angry Igraine declares war on the Solar Kingdom. Disguising herself as a solar warrior, the blacksmith gains access to Merlin's prison cell and helps him escape. When she first sees the dragon, she fears for their safety and goes on attack, but Merlin stops her in time. While running through the woods, the blacksmith affirms her motherly love for her adopted son and encourages him to try using his powers once more. With her love to guide him, his confidence returns, and so do Merlin's biological parents, Helios the sun god and the Lady of the Lake, who return his sword Excalibur to him. With his trusty sword in hand, Merlin storms the battlefield, holding Excalibur high. He roars with pride, dismantling Morgan's power. Released from Morgan's control, Uther begs Igraine for forgiveness. Their union brings peace to the kingdoms, but King Vortigern is angry and tries to retaliate. Merlin takes away his crown and offers it to Uther, who proposes to Igraine. A great celebration ensues. An exuberant Merlin dances with Excalibur, plunging it into the tree so that another in need and worthy of its power may find it one day. He sees the two gods dancing through the trees, and they beckon for him to join them. As they do, the blacksmith arrives, and Merlin has a choice to make.